So, welcome to all the viewers who are going to be tuning in with us right now. We're bringing to you the second game for our day. It's going to be JIZZ-N-RUN versus RANDOM5, and this looks like this is going to be much better than the last game that we were spectating. So, sadly, we had some technical issues coming up in the first game, but hopefully, right now it's working all fine. And first ban coming up already in the game, it's going to be a Magnus ban coming in from JNR. Looks like they know what they're going to be up against because that is actually a really particular ban. Otherwise, we see most of the heroes, most of the teams banning heroes that are, currently in the meta. But talking about in the meta, they get a undying ban on the Dire team, which is pretty good. You get hero in the meta, you don't really want to be up against him. His ult does now a lot of damage, 10% of your current HP. So, a Dazzle ban coming in from the Radiant team, an instant Lich ban. I don't know why, but for some reason it looks much more organized than the last game's bans, which were like all carries. So we're going to be having a Tusk ban finally, and after that an Axe ban. And finally we're in the picking phase. Jin are going to be the first ones to pick here. Let's see what they're going to be coming up with. Now, RANDOM5, I've seen them play before, and they're really known for getting a good team fight draft. So they really have a lot of AoE skills in their drafts, at least till what I've seen. And we're going to be having a Shadow Shaman pick coming in from JNR, and after that, instantly a Sand King pick. As I said, really good AoE on them. And yep, he's a great hero in this patch. He's got a lot of AoE stuns. His second skill has been buffed to an extent that it makes him almost unplayable against in the lane. Of course, I'm gonna have to spend some money on those sentries now because he's just gonna spam his second skill in the lane.
Radiant team pick.
And another scary in-meta hero, Grimstroke, of course, with his Soulbind. It's just so scary to be up against him. Stroke of Fate, the damage just goes on. And Necrophos, I'm assuming this guy's gonna be a safe lane Necrophos, but you can send that hero to any lane. That's the special ability of having a Necrophos in your draft, because you can send him to the safe lane, you can send him to the off lane, even the mid lane if you want to. So a really versatile hero and a really, really strong hero, of course, if you're gonna be going for a Radiance or even a Dagon.
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, with the Dagon, he somehow manages to fall apart at the later stages of the game, but with the Radiance, I mean, he's just a Necro Lord. Well, let's see. Another set of bans coming up right now.
Dire team ban.
When are we going for the Juggernaut ban for the first time? Well, it is true. I mean, Necrophos doesn't really have a lot of problems playing against Juggernaut, but he's just such a strong, and if you don't know what to pick in your lane, just go for a Juggernaut. He just scales up really well with his ult now in the game, his healing ward. He's just overall a very well balanced hero, so they didn't really want to give them the choice of taking that hero up. In RANDOM5, their draft actually looks a bit more, well balanced, but let's look at what the Radiant team goes up with, because they've got really good pushing with the Shaman now. Not a lot of team fight. They banned the Void out just in case they were going to do the Nake's Chrono combo, and even with Necrophos' ult, works out really well.
Ten seconds remaining.
Both the teams, by the way, not really utilizing their reserve time for these picks.
5 seconds remaining.
Which is, I know, teams should really utilize it, but then if they know what they're having in their minds and they just want to pick it fast, I mean, they can do that. A lot of pro teams there utilizing as much as like 1 minute 30 seconds of the reserve time. And
Dire team ban.
Alright, that's a really unconventional ban coming in from the Radiant team. It's gonna be a PA ban. It really feels like they have something up their minds, because they're banning these specific agility heroes, and to counter that, there's an anti-mage ban coming in from the Dire team. Well, maybe they're looking to go for some squishy core, like maybe a Weaver or a Morphling. that can be a good pick in this game, especially now all the agility carries have been banned. Anti-mage, Juggernaut, PA.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
So the ball is in Random5's courtyard now. Let's see what they're going to be making out of it. They have 2 minutes to think, so I mean they're going to take their sweet time and think about it, but they really have to do something about this Necrophos, because with he's just gonna do a lot of damage as long as he lives, so they need to do something in order to burst him down. And probably a good choice would be some hero like a Pugna, maybe Viper, to disable the passives. And I've even seen worst case scenarios, Ancient Apparition carry being played by Sumel, who just wrecked the opposition. I think that was a Shadow Fiend up against him, and Appa just wrecked him in the lane somehow with his third skill and the passive on. But now after that, that was really long back. That was 6 months ago, and he's been nerfed a couple of times. So let's see what they're going to be going up against. They're actually taking a lot of time thinking about this pick.
Radiant team pick.
Just when I said you don't have to take a lot of time, it's going to be a Lion pickup coming in from the Dire team. Of course, that's a roll 5 Lion. So the Grimstroke's going to be the one roaming, or it can be vice versa, of course. They're both equally strong in the lane, equally harassing. What I'd like to see from JNR though is some hero that be great in a team fight, maybe like Tidehunter.
Remaining. Dire team pick.
And it's going to be Phoenix. Also pretty good. I mean, with his ult, he's a really great team fight hero. Not a lot of stuns coming in from next except for the Supernova, of course, but Sunray and the Spirits, of course, is a great lane harass. So
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
I actually even really like the taunt on this hero. There are like 2 taunts. One is like the egg stays in the shell, and the other one's like an omelette. Nice, Volvo. Anyway, Random5, they're planning their moves out really carefully here, taking a lot of time to decide what heroes they're going to be picking, and it's most likely going to be the roll 2 and roll 1 from now. Depends who they want to give their priority to, the roll 1 or the roll 2 mid. It's most likely going to be a safe lane pick coming in from Random5 at this point.
Radiant team pick.
And it's a Troll Warlord, alright. There's actually a lot of heroes you can combo up with him in the mid lane. TA works out beautifully, and probably that's what they're going to be banning later on in the game. It's going to be a Slark pick coming in from the Radiant team instantly. I mean, I don't really know, unless you want to pick Slark class, if it's a good pick in this patch. Of course, the permanent agility and the Shadow Dance buff that has been there, you add an extra second to Shadow Dance. It's going to be an OD ban coming in from the Dire team. OD works really well with the Troll as well, but now his mana is a bit difficult to manage, and yeah. OD works great with Drow Ranger, by the way. His first skill just stacks up so well with the precision aura that you get from Drow. Doesn't really grant you attack anymore, it grants you attack speed.
10
so
seconds remaining.
Great combo between the 2 heroes here.
5 seconds.
So the last
remaining.
ban coming in up from the Radiant team, who's it gonna be? Are they gonna ban the TA? I think Slark's pretty good against the TA, so that shouldn't really be a problem for them, but just to be safe, I don't know. By the way, the Troll Warlord with his new buff now, it's more like an Ursa now, to be honest, because you can't kill him. It takes a lot of damage before dying in his ult, and he doesn't die during his ult anyway. He gets a lot of lifesteal during his ult, somewhere around 80% is what I believe. So it's almost like an Ursa in his ult.
Dire team pick.
Final pick coming in from the Radiant team. It's going to be an Invoker. All right, this game suddenly got a lot more fun. Damn. Are we going to see a Viper or something like that? I think a Viper would be pretty good against this draft, right? But I don't know, just because it's an Invoker, you might just go for a Shadow Fiend or a Tinker or something like that. Tinker might actually be pretty good. They
remaining.
don't really seem to have any catch for the Tinker except for maybe the Phoenix diving
5
in with the Yule
seconds
Scepter or
remaining.
something like that. But still, it's up to Random5. Their mid is really versatile, and it's going to be a
Choose
Lina
your hero.
straight up countering the Invoker with the spells here. And they didn't really want to do anything tricky. Go for the safe picks. Finally, we're out of this tremendously long draft phase, finally heading in towards the game. So it's going to be a Necrophos in the off lane, Slark in the safe lane for them. And the Necrophos should most likely be accompanied by the Phoenix because Shaman and Slark do really well together in the lane with the Shackle and the Essence Pack shift.
10 seconds remaining.
Invoker though I'm going to be
5
in the mid lane
seconds
up against the
remaining.
Lina. Troll with the Lion and Grimstroke with the Sand King is what I assume it's going to be. But Lion and Grimstroke can obviously change positions as and when needed. It might as well even be a like trial lane bottom for the Dire team in case they want to harass the safe lane on the Radiant team. But let's see, because Sand King is definitely capable of soloing, and we've seen that in a lot of pub games as well as team games here in the new patch. Yep. Definitely. Yep. Yep, definitely. Even the Grimstroke can gank really well with the Stroke of Fate, but yeah, Lion with the Disables can really be a great ganker. But the problem with the Radiant team is that, Slark and Invoker here, they're really greedy carries, as you said, and they need a lot of space to be made for the team, and I don't really know if the Necrophos is going to be able to make that space up, especially against the Hexes and the Silences coming from the Grimstroke and Lion. So I think we're finally going to be moving towards the game. The game was paused for some reason by the Phoenix. I think we had a problem here with respect to the Slark not showing up in the game. I think he's fine now. Yep, finally being moved here. Alright, to all the people who are tuning in right now, welcome. You're currently witnessing Random5 versus Team JNR. This is the game 2 of the first day of the Neon Gaming Studio League, and heroes are moving out at the moment. See what they bring to the table here. So it is mostly looking to be a 2-1-2. Nothing fishy coming up from both the teams here. Looks like static lanes as of now. Really depends on how the Invoker matches up against Lina. He can definitely last hit, but then he's going to take a lot of harass with the Lina spells. And in the bot lane, Grimstroke and Sand King together, I mean, they're really, really scary with the slow, with the stun. If they connect with everything that they have, it's going to be really problematic for the Radiant team. Oh, and Inkswell, by the way, it's just been such a destructive skill in the lane that they had to do multiple nerfs to the skill, and still people max the skill out in the lane. Grimstroke is just a scary hero, straight out of the bat. Looks like we're gonna see some action here in the top lane, as well as the bottom lane. Comes the Phoenix with the spirits. Troll lets the Lion tank for now. Phoenix dealing a lot of damage to the Troll Warlord, manages to steal the rune here in the bot lane. Look at the Troll, he's already low, he's probably gonna have to consume the salve. Yep, he does that in fact. Grimstroke, again as I said, with the Inkswell. But yeah, Slark innately has a good bounce ability, so he might just be able to get out of there in time. But if he doesn't, Inkswell is a really, really bad follow-up to the stun that the Sand King has, the Burst Strike, of course. On the mid lane, we see the Invoker getting a good block on the creep, so kind of has the upper hand for now. The top lane. Lion and Troll Warlord, of course, taking a lot of damage here in this lane. Necrophos can just be so damaging with its first skill. And the fact that the more Rust you get, the more regen you get, it's just broken in some aspects. So see how they're going to be able to pull off this lane. In the bot lane, the same goes against the Shaman and the Slark. It's a bit difficult to lane up against the Sand King and the Grimstroke, especially because the Sand King now, he's got the Sandstorm. They have a sentry ward up in the lane though. So maybe the off lane's going to call for a sentry ward. Yep, in fact, they are calling for a sentry ward. Looking at the last hits, we currently have the Slark on the top, followed by the Lina, Sand King, the Invoker. It looks like things are going really well here. Nothing too fancy happening. Lion actually taking a lot of damage from the Phoenix here. Necrophos might just be able to kill him with one more right click. The healing salvo gets cancelled instantly. The Fire Spirit was still on. So the Lion might just actually have to walk back to the base, but I don't really think he's going to be able to do that. Needs to stay in the lane to help his Troll Warlord as much as he can. Invoker meanwhile in the mid lane using the Fourth Spirit to right click. Oh, in the bot lane. Got the first blood on top of the Sand King. Are they going to go for the Grimstroke as well? They have the Shackle coming up in some time. Here it comes. The Slark. Pounce is not really going to be up there soon, but he knows what he has to do. Actually, one more right click. Grimstroke.
Get out of here.
Making the wrong turn, to be honest. He could have just like extended it a bit, but he probably thought the Pounce is going to be up soon, so ended up making that turn. Now I think Slark, contrary to what we said earlier, he's actually having a pretty good lane here. He's getting kills as well as CS. The top lane, Troll Warlord, not so much. Only has 3 CS up till now, and it is really difficult to, be able to do CS against the Necrophos, of course. Look at the damage Mortal is taking in. 12 comes in from, oh, the stun doesn't really connect. But Slark and Shaman want to turn it around against him with the right click, and they are able to get him yet again. Mortal dies for the second time in the lane. Grimstroke taking a lot of damage. That Shaman is right clicking for 82 at the moment. It's like an Invoker with like level 2 Exhort at the moment. Troll, Vape Nation dealing a lot of damage to him. Fire Spirits, if they connect, they deal a lot of damage. Gonna be fine just for now though. He's got another salve in his backpack. He's gonna be consuming it to stay in the lane as usual. So at the moment we see the Radiant team getting the early hand up against the dire lineup. All the heroes here and there are salving up. And probably the only saving grace for this dire lineup is the Lina in the mid lane. How she does after she gets to level 6, maybe she makes some important rotations. That's probably going to be able to save them their lanes, because Lion and Troll not really looking good here, and even the off lane's not looking that good. Phoenix. Look at the damage this bird is dishing out, by the way. It's just so much. Slark goes for the early boots instead of those triple raids. And it just pay out for him. Of course, power treads are such an important thing to have, and already gaining 3 permanent agility. That is just actually pretty good. Don't really see that happening a lot here, but Stroke of Fate, that is probably the only way they get the harass. And Shackle comes in from the Shaman. The Inkswell is also there in case they want to turn it around, but no, Sand King doesn't really come with the Barrel Strike this time. Slark really smart in using his Dark Pact. On the top lane though, Phoenix actually managed to pull the creeps there, so making things a bit more difficult for the Troll, as they were not even able to get the deny up against this Necrophos. 21-7 up against 8-3. It looks like the Dire team can have a really slow game. And And after this Necro gets level 6, you can't just slane against him without dying once. Blank gets another kill on top of the Sand King. Is Grimstroke gonna die as well? He wants to get the last hit. He gets it. Double kill coming in from Blank. And he's already gained 5 permanent agility? Yup. Shouldn't really be doing that to this Slark. I mean, he is more like an LC this patch, of course, but 5 permanent agility is a lot. The fact that they lose that agility, so that's like a difference of 2. It comes to Shackle again. This time Slark's playing really carefully. The Sun comes in from the Sand King. Might just be able to kill him. Sunstrike from the Invoker gets the Sand King on the top lane. On the mid lane rather. While the Invoker was Sunstriking, Lina gets a kill on top of him. And Slark ends up dying nonetheless to the Grimstroke. Really well-timed stroke of fate coming here. So action in all the lanes. That Invoker must be so sad at the moment. I mean, he got a really great Sunstrike, but the Lina, noticing the fact that, you know, he wasn't really aware of his surroundings, gets the kill on top of him. That is worth much more, to be honest. So finally can get some CS here, and Grimstroke dies yet again to Slark. They're just feeding the Slark in the lane, folks. Gonna be really fat really soon. Already making his way towards the Shadow Blades. On the top lane, Necrophos, he's still level 4, but with the Phoenix, oh, he gets the Sun on top of him. Troll slows him down, but they want to go on top of the line. The Troll is not really even the concern of the boat. Look at this combo though, the Phoenix dealing all the damage with his HP based skills while the Necrophos decides to heal him up. Magic 6 saves him just for now, but the Troll, is he gonna right click him down? He's gonna be fine. Sand King dies yet again. 7 permanent agility for the Slark. I mean, that is like 2 essence shift that he can have for the whole game already. It's like 7 minutes in. Let's see if he's gonna be able to keep the streak up, because Slark looks really scary at the point. Here comes the Cold Snap on top of the Lina. Comes the Shaman with the Shackle into the Sunstrike. This should be a dead Lina, and HBK, yup, he's gonna end up dying. RANDOM5 really look like they are not able to get their game on at the moment. Here comes the line just to stun the Necrophos, steal some mana away from him, but the Dire team playing all their cards right at the moment. Just need to get a bit more active all across the reins. Here comes the Shaman, gets stunned by this line. Phoenix there with the follow-up, but Lina gets the double stun with the Lagoon on top of the Shaman. Will they be able to get him though? He's got the haste rune on him. One more right click to the trick. Yup, HBK gets a double kill finally on the Lina. And that is exactly what you need to do for the Dire team to be able to come across. Stun coming in from the Sand King. Look at the damage he's doing actually to the Slark. Maybe a well-timed stun could have even killed him.
Dire's middle tower
pops the salve, stays in the fight. Maybe he wants to go for the Sand King yet again. Here comes the Shaman in the backlines though. Gonna be able to get him though. Lion gets stun on top of the Sand King. The bounce doesn't really hit, but look at the agility this Slark has. 7 permanent agility with the Essence Shift. With like 15 agility added on, and
much obliged.
Already like an Echo Saber on him. But anyway, this Necrophos is level 6, and now is the time you need to be really careful, because you can't really be low HP anymore up against this Necro. You're gonna get harassed really bad in the lane. The Grimstroke decides to actually max out the Stroke of Fate instead of the Inkswell. Blank meanwhile kills the Sand King another time. Mortal is just having such a bad lane. Shaman even drops the ward, not really able to get the kill on top of the line, but he's gonna hold the tower till Creep Wave comes in, is what I believe. It's a bit risky here and there, but that's the most they can do at the moment. The top lane, here comes the Soulbind on top of the 2 heroes. Necrophos, he's level 6. He's taking actually a lot of damage. The Sun coming in from the Inkswell as well. Ult from the Necrophos, taking a lot of damage. He might just end up dying. Laguna though from the Lina instantly kills off the Necrophos here. Even the bird. Yep, this is what you're talking about, folks. Lina making them value rotations. 5 kills already on her name, and Kind of looks like the Dire team, they're pulling slowly and steadily up against Radiant Draft. Slark taking a lot of damage there with the stun, almost half HP down. Shaman comes in with the wraparound on top of the line. Slark wants to go through the sandstorm. Now the stun coming in top of this. Tanking, is he going to be able to get the stun though is the question. Oh, he gets the stun, but the damage, is it going to be there? Another shackle comes in from the Slark and the Shaman. This might just be enough to kill the tanking off. Yup, blank. On a mega kill streak now with a double kill. 10 permanent agility on him. Grimstroke comes in yet again. Slark, he's going to say thank you very much. I'll take that kill. Another pounce of the Grimstroke. He's going to be there as well. Triple kill. And the Dire heroes look like they're just feeding the Slark one by one. And that's definitely not what you should be doing. Well, looks like it's going to be really difficult to salvage this bot lane for the Dire team, but their mid is doing well on the brighter side, and this tower
is under attack.
Nearly in the range of being denied. Still, PLR is really far behind what he would like to be in the game, and that's the problem. Ema and the Phoenix, again, they're gonna be up this Necrophos's butt, slow him down. The egg is also there to damage him up, and I think he's gonna be dead. Yeah, pops the healing salve. That was actually a waste of 100 gold as well in the bot lane. Last 55 gets the kill on Mortal. Yeah, again with the Sunstrike. The Sand King's died a lot. Yep, he's died 8 times. Not the best of games, I presume, but let's see if his team's gonna be able to make something of a comeback so that, you know, there's some space for the Sand King, because it doesn't really look like he's gonna be near his Blink Dagger anytime soon. On the mid lane, last pick T-Vi gets it on Meteor, just for the sake of farming, of course.
Dire's middle tower.
Here comes the Shaman yet again. He's been playing his role as a post-fire really well, as well as even post-4, getting that kill on Lina in the mid lane. Really value Invoker now. He's got the Hand of Midas, gonna be working his way towards the Aghanim Scepter. Not the fastest Ags, but then it's gonna be a very reliable one. And while Slark though, he's already got a Shadow Blade. In fact, 12 minutes in the game, Shadow Blade with a Wraith Ban, Power Treads, I mean, that's pretty decent. Here comes, oh! They're able to burst him down. Finally, Lina breaking his kill streak. Getting 600 gold return. Here comes the Soulbinder with a double silence on top of Juju in the Vape Nation. The stun from the Inkswell is also going to be there on top of the bird. But Shaman doing actually a lot of damage. He's going to die from the Fire Sprays, in fact. Lion gets the return kill on top of him, but standing in the wards, is he going to be able to die? He dies actually to a creep kill while the bird also dies. So it's kind of going to be a 3-4-3. These wards were really valued in the bot lane, but Lina is actually going to be able to farm off of them. And I guess it's only the Lina who's going to be able to do something to get them back into this game, because out of the 9 kills they have, Lina has participation in 8 kills. Now with the Yule Scepter that she's got, she's probably going to be making her way towards the Shadow Blade. Now Slark looks so scary here. He's going to be jumping on top of the Sand King. He's going to maybe Burrow Strike just to be able to get away, but no, he doesn't, and Blank gets another kill. Mortal. Really not really having the best of the days here on Sand King here. But he can just farm, right? I mean, he's got the Caustic Finale. No, he doesn't really. But even with the Sandstorm, you can just farm whenever you want to. In case you're having a bad lane. I think they should just leave the Slark lane. And try to salvage their other lanes, because even in the top lane, Necrophos is kind of having free farm. He's already got the Hood of Defiance up on him. And again, they managed to get the Slark. That is what they should be doing, to be honest. Here comes the stun. Doesn't really connect on top of the Shaman, but Lina, she's pretty fast. She's got another use coming up in some time. One more Dragon Slave should be enough to get the kill. Here comes the Shackle, though the bird is going to be there. The opposite there, they might just be able to pop this egg now. 2 more couple fire clicks. Yup, HBK, Monster Kill himself with a double kill. Necrophos, he's silenced now. The stun is going to be there to follow up from the line as well as the Brimstone. They don't really time to try, but here comes the Invoker with a small tornado out of 2 heroes. Necrophos taking a lot of damage. Soulbind with a double silence yet again. Necrophos might just be popped out. So does the Invoker. Mortal gets a double kill. Finally, they get a team fight that they can salvage out of this game here. Slark with the Shadow Blade in the back lines. I don't really think he's going to be able to get anyone now. They're all grouped together, and that is what definitely the Dire team should do. Stick together, get some team fights. Look at the goal change they get from here. They get a 2.5k network change. And finally, looks like the game is a bit close now. RANDOM5 getting into the groove all of a sudden.
Money to burn.
Go for my armor.
Radiant's bottom
So,
tower
I mean,
is
late
under
game,
attack.
it's going to be, of course, difficult to play against the Necrophos, even the Invoker, but they're managing to get it right. And Lina goes for a 4-staff instead of the Yule Scepter, of course, in order to break that Pounce Leash. Now, 4-staff works as well, so that's actually a pretty good pickup. Works against the Meteor too, in case you want to use it. So, good item choice coming in from this Lina. Mortal looks like he's going to be working his way slowly towards the Blink Dagger as well, which is what we like to see on a Sand King, of course. His epicenter in the last team fight was a lot of value, and if he's able to replicate that in the future fights, I mean, consider this game won for the Dire team. Because the Radiant team, they don't really have as good a team fight as one would expect them to. The Dire, on the other hand, they have the Soulbind. Oh, meanwhile, Grimstroke dying to the Slug here solo. 14 permanent agility. I mean, no matter what happens, this Slug has been fed a lot. And 14 permanent agility is a lot of armor as well as a lot of attack speed, which is what you want Slug, right?
Is under attack.
If it were me, I'd just not even use a Dark Pact anymore. I just right-click them down. But Lina gets the Invis Rune. If she's able to snipe this Slug out, it's going to be huge for the team. He's got the level to Laguna. Oh, and they had sentries there. They're going to be able to spot this Lina out, sadly. And Lina, I think she's probably aware of this. That's why she's going to just back off for now. But Slug looks like he's on the chase for this Lina. Oh, look at this. Swell coming in from the Lina. The silence is perfectly timed out from the Grimstroke. A lot of damage coming in. He's stunned. But the Necrophos on the backline, he's going to be able to get the Grimstroke. 45 seconds dead cooldown timer on him. Lina manages to get out there safely. While Juju on the Shaman. It's like he's planning something on here. Against the line. Is he going to be able to get the wrap around? Here comes the Hex. The Shackle is also going to be there. Troll Warlord in the backlines. The Sunstrike from the Invoker. It's going to be a guaranteed kill. Oh, a well-timed Snakes coming in from the Shaman. That's going to be a Dread Troll Warlord as well. Radiant team. Getting kills all across the map here. Well, now, you know, the Master Serpent mod, the update that came in, they made it easier to trap a hero inside them, which is great for new players as well as the experienced one. And they're going to take this advantage and they're going to be pushing out the mid lane. Phoenix gets caught by the Lina as well as the Sand King should be dead. Oh, barely survives on 1 HP. Wants to TP out from there. One more right click should be enough, but no, he manages to get out of there. Yep, he's going to be fine. Lucky bird. Anyway, Troll and Grim, are they going to be able to defend this mid lane now is the question. Doesn't really look like he's got a lot of farm. Gets shackled by the Shaman. Troll Warlord goes directly on top of him. Necrophos wants to go on top of his Grimstroke. A Soulbind with double silence comes on. And that is what you need to get this Necrophos kill. Inkswell also coming in. Sand King with the follow-up stun. That's going to be a dead Necro. Lion secures that kill as well as get one Finger of Death kill stack. Radiant there just pushing out the boundaries a bit too much. And the Dire team taking advantage of that. I mean, there was no need to go for that tier 2, right? I mean, there were only 2 heroes and you can't really do much without the Invoker and his Alacrity. Still, don't really want to be giving space to this Lina to farm as well as the Troll Warlord, because once he reaches that level 20 mark is when things get really, really difficult for the Radiant team. Plus 50 damage doesn't really sound like a lot, but with the Troll and his attack speed stacks, it's pretty scary.
Bottom tower is under
Even his
attack.
ult now, it's been buffed like really hardly, so...
Radiant are scanning.
Things coming out in the top map for the Dire team. Don't really know why. Okay, they destroy an Observer Ward. That was what it's for. And they're probably looking to go on this Necrophos as well. Do they have the Blink Dagger on the Sand King? Yup, they do. Gonna be a Blink Dagger reveal from the Sand King. Kind of reveals it though. Pinged out by the Invoker even. And TP is coming in from the Invoker. They probably want to get a kill on top of him if they can. He's going to be able to find out though where the Sand King is hiding, because they don't really have a sentry there in the lane. Phoenix comes in with the dust on top of him. Slark there with the follow-up. Gonna be running, but not really finding anybody at this point of time. Troll Warlord is getting fatter slowly and slowly. Gets his Yasha and is gonna be going for the Manta style. Meanwhile, Dire, they're gonna get all the runes, and that is actually a lot of gold coming in. Gets the sun on top of the Shaman. It's gonna be another kill for the Lena. Godlike streak now. HBK is gonna be going for a BKB, playing it safe, of course, and that is the way to go, of course. Lena is gonna be making a rotation down in the bot lane, giving some damage to the Necrophos. He's got the Pipe of Insight now, so he doesn't really need to be that worried. Sand King, he's in the high ground. Is he going to be channeling his Epicenter anytime soon? His question. Here comes the Sun with the Soulbind on top of the double silence. Oh, it's going to be a double Laguna from the Lena, just as we saw in the intro trailer for Brimstroke. A lot of damage coming in, and Stroke of Fate gets all 4 kills. Invoker with a Tornado Meteor on top of the Troll Warlord manages to get that kill, but look at the damage this Lena and Sand King are doing. It's going to be a 5-man fight coming in from the Dire team. I mean, of course, the Shaman was picked off in the top lane, but still, that is a team vibe. They got what they came for, and Troll Warlord being the only liability. I mean, he was a liability from the beginning of the game, wasn't he? The net worth need now almost, you know, been reduced to nothing, and
Radiant's bottom
they're gonna be pushing finally with the first tier ones in the game. HBK. It's got the BKB now, so it's gonna be feeling much more comfortable fighting into this Invoker, especially even the Necrophos, because they don't really have a way to counter this BKB. Not a lot of their heroes' damage goes through the BKB. Only the Necro stun probably. Lank on the Slug. Not really been able to get a lot of value kills after his 14 permanent agility, which we spoke of, but let's see if he manages to turn this around. He gets his haste rune with the Shadow Blade. That's actually going to be a lot of value. But there is this deep ward from the Dire team, which actually reveals a lot to their team. A crown coming in from the Necrophos. What is this for? Probably a Wheel of Discord, or maybe a Rod of Atos? It can be a Rod of Atos. I mean, good to catch out the Troll Warlord at least. Lena, I don't really think you're going to be able to do that because she's got a Force Staff and a Yule Scepter, but nobody makes a crown just like that, right? I mean, go for a magic stick rather. That Dire team, they're all grouped up. They go for the smoke. The Troll Warlord wasn't really there, and there's no Radiant wards to catch that out. The Radiant team, are they going to smoke themselves? Yup, they smoked themselves. So both the teams are going to be smoked up now. Let's see if they're able to catch anyone. Dire team moving together. First contact's going to be between the Lena and the Phoenix is what I presume. Sand King gets spotted out, instantly hexed by the Shaman. They're going to be able to get this. Meanwhile, Troll Warlord with the ult, they instantly kill the Slug. Tornado catching 3 heroes. Lena's BKB'd up, gets the egg. Look at the damage they're dishing out, folks. Ult is going to be on top of the line. They managed to get that kill as well, but Troll Warlord, he's been left loose. Finally gets shackled into the Tornado. Meteor from the Invoker. Triple kill coming in from the Lena yet again. Stun. Cold Snap though on top of her. Stun coming in from the... Oh, that was actually a mistimed stun. Actually ends up hitting the Invoker. Are they going to be going for him as well is the question. Force taps himself into the stun. They've got the vision on top of him. Ultra kill coming in from the HBK. Lena. I mean, this game was only Lena's game, to be honest, because she was the only one doing all the work in the early game, managed to salvage out the mid lane as well as the top lane with some rotations, and now because of her team can, you know, probably not win a fight. And that's when you get a Yules on Lena, so you can't even, you know, say that it was because of a Shadow Blade or, you know, a Hurricane Pike pickup on Lena. It's just because of the skills that she's been using and getting all these value kills, like, you know, just deleting the Slug early every fight. That's how they're able to create value with this Lena, and it's working out really well for them at the moment. He's level 20 already, gets that 25 by 2% Fury Soul stack skill, of course, really useful on the hero. Slark needs a really desperate BKB on himself as well, because he's just getting bursted down every fight without a doubt. The Radiant team actually, when they were fighting up against, them in the top lane, they actually had the upper hand because they got the Sand King up, so that it mean no stuns, no epicenter coming in. But in local, he actually wants to chase him down, get seals on top of him. The stun is going to be there for the follow-up. The deafening blast, though. Oh my god, look at the damage coming. He might just end up dying from the caustic finale. Yup, ends up dying. Sandstorm's a lot of damage, folks, because he's even taking the 40 Sandstorm DPS, of course. So I'd personally prefer the attack slow coming in from the epicenter, but I don't really know if they need it against the Slark. Boss coming in from the Dire team. I mean, this is why RANDOM5 is so famous, because they've got this beautiful soulbind combo on the Grimstroke with the double silence, double Laguna, double stun from the line as well, and that is what they've been utilizing so well in the team fights, is what I believe is causing them to win these team fights. The Radiant team, they don't really have any team fight at all. What they can do is just come in with the Phoenix, pop the egg out, and fight inside that with the Tornado Meteor or something like that. But the Dire team, they have a proper, well laid down, combo that they can initiate, and just very, very problematic to play against. That's why Grimstroke is such an amazing support, because he can harass you in the lane as well, and he's just a really valuable asset during team fights as well. So that's where the Grimstroke really shines. Line now, even with the blink dagger, is going to be really useful in team fights. Troll Warlord's got his Manta finally going to be going for the BKB. I mean, not the greatest of times on the Manta side, but still, after BKB, he's going to be a really damaging core. So they should definitely change his root sound though that you get with the Berserker's Rage on. Looks really funny. It's like he's right clicking you down and randomly just puts up a net on you. Good. But anyway, they've got a Smoke of Deceit yet again on top of the Dire supports. Maybe they're going to go for the Roshan or something like that. Sunstrike comes into the pit just to spot it out. Nobody's going to be there. It's actually the right decision coming in from the teams, because most of the times I see a team throwing the network away is when they are, just closely up and they decide to go for Rosh and they get spotted out. They do a team fight, but they're not really able to salvage it out and they end up dying. That's where they throw the games away. So not doing Roshan unless it's absolutely necessary is actually the right choice. They commit a lot on top of this bird. That was probably a bit overkill, but then they got it, and I think they can go into the pit freely now. The Radiant team knows this, but I don't really know if they're going to be doing anything against this. Sunstrike spots it out. Do they have the Serpent Words to put inside the pit? They actually do it. Troll Warlord taking a lot of damage, but wants to go outside the pit, but he's not really able to do so. Slark in the backline goes on top of the Lina. She's going to force herself out of it, but that means that the Troll Warlord is alone in the fight, and he's going to be taken out. Sand King comes in with the epicenter Sandstorm, but it's not really going to be enough. Invoker, is he going to get taken down? The use from the Lina is there. Meanwhile, the backline's Lion dies to the Necrophorce Ult. Probably not the best hero to get with the Necrophorce Ult, but that's something. They get two Dire heroes. Is the Lina feeling confident to take this Roshan? That is what I was talking about, folks. So they started off doing Rosh, brought him down to half HP. There was actually a beautifully timed Serpent Wards inside the pit. Killed the Troll Warlord somehow, and they kind of turned it around now. It was a 5k net for the Dire team. They managed to get it down to 2k. They get the Aegis on top of the Slark, means that he's going to be much more comfortable, fighting these heroes from now on. Heck, he even got a permanent agility stack. 15 permanent agility for this carry.
Dire structures are fortified.
Are they going to be able to spot the Sand King out of the question though?
Has fallen.
Still here, but it looks like they don't really have a sentry or a dust at the moment. Here comes a sentry finally. They stun from the Lina with the Laguna fire up. They burn down that Aegis instantly. Shackle comes in from the Shaman on top of the Lina. Soulbind though. Is it gonna be double silence yet again as we see stunning the Slark? Look at the damage he's taking. He's ruled yet again with the ult. Look at the damage, folks. Necro's gonna be there as well. So is the Shaman. Only the Invoker survives yet again, and it looks like they're gonna be chasing after him as well. Oh my god, how can you take a team fight against them is the question. As soon as they get the Soulbind on, it can't be purged off, right? It cannot be dispelled. So Slark is probably almost dead if he gets Soulbind on with another hero. He can purge it off, but then Grimstroke only has to stun the other hero now.
Dire's bottom tower is under
It's
attack.
just so amazing. I think Grimstroke is a really great hero up against Slark, at least from what I'm seeing here in this game. And Invoker is not really going to be doing anything to delay their push. Probably some Tornado EMPs is what we need. That's what he's going to be doing at the moment, I guess. Oh, but the Lion gets to jump on top of him. Lena, is she there for the follow-up? She's way down at the moment. Phoenix comes in, but I think they're going to be able to get this T2 without any problems, or with some problems, minor problems. Managed to spot out the Sand King. Here comes another Soulbind on top of the Slark. Shaman rather. Shaman and Necrophos. They managed to get both of them in the backlines. Invoker comes in, the Troll Warlock goes on top of him, but he's gonna get out of there. Slark, BKB is up, but doesn't really get the maximum value out of that BKB. So it looks like all of the Dire heroes, they're gonna survive now. Meanwhile, Radiant losing 2 of them in the Soulbind yet again.
Radiant's middle tower.
Guess what? It's gonna be back up in 25 seconds, meaning can go back to pushing as soon as they want to. And even though the Radiant team, they got that Aegis out, they got that fight out, the Dream fight outside the Roshan pit, it still looks like they don't really have things in control.
I'll take that.
Lena almost so close to level 25, gets that 175 attack range or the Dragon Slave cooldown. At this moment, it looks like, you know, she can go for the Dragon Slave cooldown as well, because she's actually doing a lot of damage with the spells too, when they're soulbound and stuff like that.
Radiant's top tower
Mortal.
is under attack.
He died 8 times before he even got a single kill, but look at how he's come back into the game now. That's what I was talking about. You just need to make some space for the Sand King, get him a bit of farm, get him his Bling Dagger, and after that, I think he's just such a better hero. He's so much a better hero. And this Slark looks like he's trapped a bit. Oh, actually, he wants to go for the Lena if he can. Or the Lion, of course. Lena's just right behind him. Oh, noticing that the Lena, she's used her stun up. He's going to be going for the Lion with the BKB. He wants to go on top of the Lena as well. The Shackle coming in from the Shaman. Oh, with the Necro. That's going to be a 2-minute cooldown timer. And the Lena. They have a buyback. She does have a buyback, but... Well, thank you very much, says the Slark, for those 3 kills. And that is why you need a Gem of True Sight, to be honest. This Slark's just roaming around the map. And... if you give him this much free space, I think he's gonna take it and just kill your heroes whenever you can. Shouldn't really have used that stun there, Lightning Striker. It was only after seeing that the Slug decided to jump on top of them. Meanwhile, on the mid lane, we've got the Troll Warlord pushing out the tier 3. It's probably gonna force back the heroes here from the Dire team after they take this tier 2, but they kind of want to go for the tier 3 as well.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Makes a lot of sense actually. Slark is going to be able to get the Sand King. No, with the stun, this double silent Soulbind coming in. Lion double ult coming in. That's so much damage. The stun's not really going to connect. He manages to use himself up, but with the Cataclysm Lena, all of a sudden taking so much damage, she's going to be burst down yet again. That's a dieback on top of the Lena. The Troll Warlord, he's got to salvage out something this himself. Gets shackled yet again in the backline. Sand King with the epicenter manages to probably kill the Slark off. No, he's regenerating a lot. He's gonna be fine. Front lines though, Shaman. Maybe gets this Grimstroke as well. Lena, she's out of buyback. That is the main problem here. Necrophos, he's still alive and healthy. And they get this tier 3 out of it. It's probably looking like they're gonna lose this, but
Dire's top barracks are under attack.
they get this tier 3, they get the melee racks as well. JIZZ-N-RUN. Really getting that clutch fight off. I mean, they were soulbound. They got the double finger from the Lion, but with the Cataclysm in the Shackle and the Hex, that was probably the dream scenario for them. They get 2 sets of rack at least out of this.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
The only thing Grimstroke can do is just Stroke of Fate his way down the mid lane, but still. It's going to be a dead Lena for 50 seconds, and just because of the fact that they have a T3 still standing, T2 rather still standing in the bot lane, not really going to have Megas against them, but still. All of a sudden, this game turning around for the Dire team. Lena just got in a bad position there, and Game just got a lot more interesting. I mean, the Dire, they certainly have the upper hand when it comes to team fights. Lina always manages to get, his skills on control water. He's level 20 now, so he's going to take that 50 damage talent as well. But
Dire's bottom tower
the fact still
is under
remains the same.
attack.
Dire.
Dire's bottom tower
They've lost 2
has
sets of
fallen.
fracks, and Radiant doesn't really look like they're going to stop pushing anytime soon.
Dire's
The Aether
bottom
Lens on the
shrine
Shaman has
is
got
under
to be the
attack.
MVP this game, because 125 cast range plus the Aether Lens cast range just means that you can shackle and hex enemies from a really safe distance.
Dire's
And
bottom shrine
that's how you got the kill
has
on the Lina
fallen.
last time, the die back on the Lina. That was really unfortunate because she got hit by 3 Sunstrikes in that Cataclysm. Up. RANDOM5 suddenly don't really know the next move in the game to make. Maybe they're gonna be smoking. They have a smoke on the line in case they want to do it. They probably think the Radiant team is gonna be doing Roshan here, but it's not up right now. It's gonna be up pretty soon though. And King gets all his items online. Crimson Guard Piper from inside. He's allegedly a really good tank at the moment. Control Waller. They've got all the right ingredients, but
Dire
then
are scanning.
the food is probably overcooked. Tina goes for the
Radiant
axe
are
actually
scanning.
instead of anything else. She wants to get that pure damage on top of anyone. Wants it to pass to the BKB. That's probably the only way they're gonna burst that slug down. But look at him now. He's so tanky. And he's even got a lot of armor now. 21 armor with the Shiva's Guard and BKB Echo Saber, getting that permanent agility as well. And at this rate, I think the Radiant, they're gonna feel really comfortable farming in the Dire jungle. The fact that Slark's got all the items, Invoker is probably gonna be making his way towards the side of Wise at this point, but let's see what they decide to go for.
Dire's top shrine is under attack. Dire's top shrine has fallen.
Invoker, meanwhile, is gonna be alone in the bot lane for some reason. He's gonna be deeping towards the top as well, of course. That's what they wanna do. Create space as much as they can, increase the net worth lead, and when they feel comfortable, they can go for the fight. Maybe after getting the Abyssal on top of the Slug, but they can take their sweet time sieging now. That's the thing. They can wait for another Rosh and then go for it. The Dire team, they really need to do something drastic in order to get out of the situation, because the network doesn't really favor them at this point, and Lina really feels like she needs some kind of a disable, like a Hex for the Slug. It is dispelled, of course, by the Dark Pact now, but a Hex follow up to maybe Lion's Hex or Stun, something like that. Keeping the Slug disabled at all times, because Slug's the only one damaging them at the moment, and Cataclysm just need to stay safe with the Cataclysm, but alright. Radiant team, they're gonna spot out this Roshan, they're gonna be able to take this down really fast, and the Dire team, they can't really do anything about it, so best they can do is put wards at random places so the Slug doesn't really deward them. But I think that was even seen by the team, so it's actually a pretty slow Aegis and an uncontested Aegis at that. I don't really know why the Dire team feels like, they've been holed up in their base just because of a lost fight. I mean, it wasn't even their fault, right? It was just a really good Cataclysm that fell on top of the Lina. There was a dieback on her. But it really feels like they've taken an ultra defensive approach to this, because they still can win the team fights. I hope they don't lose their morale out of that. It was just an unlucky turn of events here coming in. Because getting a draft right is probably 50% of the game, and they definitely got a better draft on the Dire team. And it's just that Hopefully the troll manages to come online because his team really needs him, and he's not been able to shine in any team fights as of yet. Hopefully we'll be able to take the Phoenix down in his ult or something like that. The Radiant team, meanwhile, they're smoked up, especially this Lark. It's gonna be able to look for some fish in the sea. Necrophos though, he's got the Ags as well, so it's gonna be 25-second ults, 40-second ults rather. Okay, I think that is something. Getting pickoffs usually means that the hero's gonna be down for like 130 seconds or something like that. So yeah, as and when it comes online, they can start a team fight. Both the teams now kind of playing safe here. Even the Radiant team now with the lead that they have, they kind of want to just increase the network difference, farm in the jungle as long as they want to. It's a safe strategy, but it's also kind of boring. We need some kills.
Well-gotten gains.
Phoenix comes up with the Shiva's Guard as well as Gem of True Sight, and even without the Hand of Midas, he's able to farm a lot.
What need have I for this?
Finally, looks like they want to do something here in the bot lane. Shaman. Are they gonna drop the wards anytime soon is the question. The Invoker is not really there with them. Maybe they're gonna wait for the next wave and do that. Yep, the siege creep wave. Here comes the wards. Actually gonna be a lot of damage. Sand King really need a good epicenter coming out of his Sand King. Wants to right click him down himself, but here comes the shackle on top of the Lina again. That's the same way they got it the last time. They get it again this time. Troll Warlord pops his ult out. Look at the fight that is happening here. It's so messy for Troll Warlord. He's not dying though in his ult. He's BKB'd up, wants to go on top of the bird, but they're just kiting him around. As soon as the BKB pops out, he's gonna die. Lina comes back into the fire again. This time the epicenter from the Sand King comes and catches two. This time Shaman and the Invoker, not a lot of damage though. They're pretty tanky, so they're gonna survive. Lina dies again. It's gonna be a dieback on top for Troll Warlord. Probably the only way they can win this, and no, they realize they can't. GG gets called out by the Dire team, and the Radiant team finally found the way to kill the Dire team. Just shackle the Lina and get a catechism on. That's how they were able to win both the fights, and JIZZ-N-RUN get the win here. 41 minutes into the game. Good game.